2 in Lubbock in 73. And here we go. Stone Harrington sends it away. Rayshon Glover, the deep man. And
last week, against Wyoming. We'll see how healthy he is here early.
First down and 10 at the 25 for the Utes. Wayshawn Parker in the backfield with Dampier. And they'll give it to him on first down. Running right, he'll pick up a couple. And that brings up the offense for Utah.
This offensive line has to control the pace and tempo of this game. These five up front, led by Spencer Fano on the outside, they've got to be great. And then what we're going to see is a talented group of skill position players, and then guys that aren't even starters, but that we'll see quite a bit, are actually some defensive players like Smith Snowden and Lander Barton. Pay attention when 8 and 2 are on the field.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line. And here's a sweep around the left side. And it's Jackson Benny. Not a lot of room. He'll gain 1. Stopped by Gil Howard. And this defensive front, pretty special for Texas Tech.
That's right. Look at all those transfers. And those two guys on the outside are terrific. Skylar Gil Howard, probably the alpha of the defense. Jacob Rodriguez, a true Red Raider, a captain at linebacker. And Cole Wisniewski, he transfers in from North Dakota State, where he was an FCS All-American.
3rd down and 6 at the 29. Near side throw caught. Not enough for the first down. Red Raiders jump on him quickly. Ryan Davis gains 4. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 2. And Utah will send it away.
This Texas Tech defense had to be transformed from a year ago. And that's what the bag, Gus, will allow you to do. Transform. And they bring in all of these players, and I tell you, they've gelled so well. The defensive line is excellent, one of the better defensive lines in the entire country. And they fly around and they play very hard, and that's the evidence on that first series.
Orion Phillips will punt it away from the 17-yard line. Tristan Gentry, he's the deep man at the 22. This one angled to the far side. Gentry backpedaling. Fair caught at the 15. A 53-yard punt, and that's going to bring on.
And this is an offense, Gus, that will take shots early. This matchup against a man-to-man style defense, you're going to get bump corners right in the face of the wide receivers, and Tech are going to challenge those guys early.
First down and 10 at the 15 for Morton. And he decides to run it off first down. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Jonathan Hall there.
One thing we got to be aware of as well is Tech is going to try to go fast and use tempo here. Tempo along with those shots down the field. That's how they try to threaten the defense.
2nd and 10 of the 15. He'll air it out this time. Morton, far side, caught, but his receiver immediately dropped. Snowden with the tackle. A 5-yard gain and received by Reggie Virgil.
Listen to this place.
18th loudest stadium in college football, according to the USA Today. 3rd down and 5 at the 20. Loudest in the Big 12. Jacoby Williams remains in the backfield with Morton. Some movement up front. Looks like this will go against Tech. Morton underneath. Ball caught. Williams breaks it upfield with running room. Still on its feet. Williams bursts at speed. Williams gets a block. No flag. Can he get there? Cuts it inside. Still on the move. At the 11 he goes down. What a run. Jacoby Williams. Johnson with the saving tackle. That's a gain of 73.
Jacoby Williams had 100 yards receiving last week. He's becoming one of the best threats out of the backfield in all of college football as a receiver. And that was a dynamic and explosive run after the catch down the field.
7 catches, 116 yards and a touchdown for Williams. 1st and 10 at the Utah 12. Morton off his back foot. End zone throw incomplete.
I tell you, the fans up here are upset because Tech executed a pick play. Watch, you're going to have the tight end. He's going to come and block the man player that's trying to defend Jacoby Williams. So the question becomes, did he catch that ball behind the line of scrimmage or was he downfield? If he's downfield, then that is a pass interference. But if he did step back, which it looked like he might have stepped back right before catching the ball, then that's a legal play.
2nd down and 10 of the 12-yard line. Morton Handing it off. Dickey this time, and he's dropped for a loss. Well defended. Trey Reynolds, the junior from Arizona, a 1-yard loss.
Boy, after the big play, Tech, you got to feel like you got to capitalize, in particular here on this first possession, after Williams put him all the way down there inside the 15. But here, a long yardage situation right in front of the student section, Gus.
3rd down 11. Trips at the top of your screen. From the 13. Morton, play fake. Looks. Darts underneath. Caught. Dickey. And he'll get a first down at the 1-yard line. Jonathan Hall with the saving tackle. On 3rd and 11, they get 12.
How about Baron Morton manipulating the pocket, buying time, finding the completion for the first down.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. First down and goal at the 1. Dickey in the backfield. They give it to him straight ahead. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Just like that. State 45-14 in Lubbock last week. Morton had his time for he's from Phoenix, Arizona, born in Jenny's Hood, Minneapolis, Minnesota. First down and 10 at the 25. Smith Snowden in motion out of the backfield. Dampier goes through his progressions. Underneath, finds his receiver, Ryan Davis. He'll turn it up and gain 7.
Davis is a really reliable guy on the outside and actually came from New Mexico with Dampier and Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator. So certainly a guy that Dampier trusts on the outside.
2nd and 3 at the 32. Here's the delayed handoff. Hunter Andrews, he'll pick up a first down. What's different about this Utah offense with Coach Beck running the show?
Well, this offense is going to use a lot of creative sets, motions, and movements in order to put more players at the run point of attack than other teams generally do. That means more pulling linemen, more pulling tight ends, and even some quarterback run.
Snowden again running left, cuts it inside, keeps his momentum and goes down at the 40, picks up 3. Brendan Jordan brings him to the turf.
Last year, they just did not run the ball well. Under 4 yards per carry, Utah was on offense a year ago. But Beck comes in here, they've transformed. Almost 300 rush yards per game, 6 yards per carry. They're going to need a long drive here.
2nd and 7 to the 40-yard line. Dampier scrambling. Just gets it away to Andrews, and no gain on the play. He may have lost a yard. Jordan again defensively, the junior from Mansfield, Texas.
Well, this is where these defensive ends can go to work. 3rd and obvious, an obvious passing situation. David Bailey, number 31. Romello Height, number 9. These guys can get after it. They are excellent players. A lot of scouts on the field pregame marveling at these guys on the outside. And I tell you what, Gus, they're good looking. They play hard. And they can get after the pass.
They certainly passed the eye test. 3rd and 7 at the 40. Dampier, he wants to run and looking for the first down, and he will not get it. About a yard and a half short of the first down on 3rd and 7. He gets 6. Jacob Rodriguez with the tackle.
I tell you what, you got the best offensive line that Whittingham has seen since he's been here, so he's going to put more of them on the field. So here we go, a 6th offensive lineman into the game. Keith Olson, number 74, along with a defensive lineman. They're going big up front here. That's Tulonga, a true freshman, number 99, also in the game at fullback.
4th down and 1 at the 46. Rogers in the backfield. And a timeout called by Tech prior to the snap. We will take a break. 7:37 to play in the first quarter. Tech up 7-0.
Why do it?
Says no. And through. I don't know. Utah says they have it. Rogers, the running back, Texas Tech says no. They don't have it.
I tell you, that's very close. He had to get to the 47-yard line. That's where the sticks are at. Basically needed to get to that second U, and here you see the contact. They try to take his legs, and then he spins and tries to reach that football forward, and they will say that he did not get it. Utah has used this set and that exact play in almost every single short yardage possession that they've had all year long, and they went right back to the well. Texas Tech was absolutely ready for that. That reach right there, I'm sure they'll take an extra look at this. It's just a matter of the spot. They will bring the sticks out here for an official measurement.
And he didn't get it. Utah turns the ball over on downs. Folks, they got dogs up front for Tech. Bailey, Hunter, Gil Howard, Height, ball players, NFL players.
They're showing the replay right now on the screen, and you can see Rodgers at the end when he's reaching the ball forward. I think that they've got a bit of a case here to be had. I'm wondering if this is going to get stopped and looked at in replay. I'm sure it will. The spot on the field, I feel like, is short of what we just saw on video. I can't believe they're letting them play. That is a poor spot right there.
So here come the Red Raiders now.
False start, number 76.
Down and long now at the 15. First down at 15 at the 48. Near side throw, Carter. And he'll get over the line of scrimmage. Dropped quickly by Jonathan Hall.
Well, this Utah team now has had a couple of chances on third down to get off the field, but it's been the lack of pressure on Behren Morton. They can't get to him yet.
Second and 14 at the 49. Morton drops it off in the flats. Dickey hits his sideline with some speed, dragged down at the 40. Great defense. Logan Fano just tracked him down.
That is a defensive end out in space against a running back and is able to run him down, force this third down. They tried to bring pressure there, trying to get players in the face of Behren Morton. They just can't get to him. He's too good in the pocket.
Third and 4 at the 41. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Morton pulls it out, wants to run it, and is gobbled up immediately. Lealele.
Well, this is a great job by the linebacker, Jonathan Hall. Watch as he's going to get to the outside, and that's where Morton realizes, okay, I've got to turn back in, and that's where all the pursuit from the defense is coming. Leea is right there for the stop.
Fourth down and 9. And Tech will punt it away at the 41-yard line. Glover is the deep man. End over end kick. And fair caught at the 11. Flag on the play, though.
Kick catch interference, number 4. Kicking team, 15-yard penalty at the end of the
NFL. Jackson.
They had their big defensive lineman on the field, Simi Tulonga, number 99, and then he jogs off, and that clearly does not make Kyle Whittingham happy, especially coming out of a break like that.
First down and 15 at the 21. Wayshawn Parker motions out of the backfield. Now they'll give it to Parker on the reverse, and he'll get upfield. Nice run. Gains 5. Stopped by Rodriguez.
I'm really impressed with this defense so far. If you're going to build a defense that's going to be stout against the run, it would be these types of guys. Lee Hunter in the middle, Skylar Gil Howard in the middle, and then you've got also a preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year in Jacob Rodriguez at linebacker.
Second and 10 of the 26. Dampier near side. Nice throw. Good catch. Davis will get another 5.
These third downs are just so massive for Utah to try to stay on the field, and Tech has been winning this down so far here in the first quarter. The one thing you've got to be aware of if you're the Tech defense is Dampier's ability to run the football here on third down.
Third and 5 at the 31. Dampier sprints out of the pocket, throws, got a man, caught, Benny, touchdown, Utah! What a throw, what a catch, but a flag. If it stands, 69 yards.
This one's coming back. Spencer Fano, the right tackle, was downfield. You're allowed 3 yards. He's past the 3-yard mark.
Downfield, number 55. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay. Second, third down.
What a catch. All for naught. Jackson Benny, sophomore from Utah.
Gus, that is a mental mistake from Fano because that's a pass play. Pass protection. So a real mental error from the right tackle.
So that makes it 3rd down and 10 at the 26. Dampier guns it again. Knocked down. Well defended. As Simmons was the intended receiver. Jordan knocked it away, but there is a flag.
I think he got there a little early, Gus. Here's the over route, and there's the defense. Right, yeah, you see his arms come around him just soon enough. And anytime you see the defensive back, if this is his reaction right here, hands up. I guess he's like, no, guys, I'm good. Then the flag should come out just for that. If I'm an official, I'm just like, oh, yeah, there we go.
All right, so Brendan Jordan, junior from Mansfield, Texas, call for the penalty. Moves the chains for the Utes, 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's the option, old school. Here's the pitch, Parker fumbles it, almost fumbles it. And he'll still gain 3 yards. You don't see that traditional option often.
No, you don't. And this is a mistake from the quarterback. So if you're the quarterback, Devin Dampier, you've got to attack the in-man on the line of scrimmage, but you don't want to fake and then go back to the pitch. Once you've decided you're going to run the football, you've got to get that football right up the field and gain as many yards as possible. You go back to the pitch like that late, it's going to hit the ground.
2nd down, 7, near side throw, and a 1st down for Utah. And the ball comes out. Texas Tech says they have it, and they do. John Curry jumped on it. Ryan Davis lost it.
What a hit. Ben Roberts knocks it out. Tech defense flexing some serious Red Raider muscle. Legend. What a career.
To the backfield for Morton. Underneath, incomplete. That ball intended for Reggie Virgil.
Well, the coverage is held up decently for Utah, but what they haven't been able to do is get to Baron Morton. And Texas Tech has been very opportunistic. 130 points off takeaways since 2024. 3rd most in college football. They get the takeaway now. They desperately want to capitalize.
2nd and 10 at the 46. Morton with time, near side, back shoulder, intercepted. Johnson, Teo Johnson plucked it out of the air, but was he in bounds? That's a question.
They're trying to attack Blake Cotton here, number 16. And watches that ball, hits him right in the back. And there's Johnson, secured, knee down, certainly in bounds, and he's headed the other direction. Utah's defense answers turnover for turnover right here. Cotton, nice play, no contact before the ball arrives, and then Johnson's able to get that knee down before sliding onto the white paint.
So turnovers for each team now. 1st and 10 at the 30. Dampier with a hitch to Snowden. Breaks the tackle. And Snowden with some yak. He'll gain 6.
I'll tell you, both of these defenses answering the bell. The 4th down failed for Utah. Defense gets the ball back. Then Red Raiders force a turnover. Beautiful job punching it out. Utah gets the ball right back. Defensive game here so far.
2nd down and 4 at the 36-yard line. Another hitch near side. And another cool spin by Smith-Snowden. He gets it upfield. Wrapped up by Rodriguez.
Did you see Rodriguez flying over there like a Black Hawk helicopter?
That's right.
His wife flies, I should say. I mean, he was motoring out there to the outside. The physical takedown and forcing 3rd down.
His wife, Emma, is a helicopter pilot. She went to West Point. 3rd down and 2 at the 38. Dampier runs it himself, looking for the first, and he has it. Devin Ledoux gains 4. Wisniewski the tackle.
Well, here you go. Gonna get a motion man to try to get the eyes of the defense going this way and then bring the quarterback back with a lead blocker. And he just knifes it inside. Right there, Wisniewski just oversets a little bit. And he's able to get inside and move the sticks.
Makes it 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line for Utah. Here's Dampier following his blocks, has a lane. And he's collared and taken down short of midfield by John Curry after a 7-yard gain.
Well, there was some question about Dampier's health going into this game. An ankle injury from last week against Wyoming, but he looks pretty good so far, Gus. Maybe not 100%, but certainly effective enough right here on back-to-back runs. And right there, a nice gain on 1st down, bringing up a 2nd and short.
Dampier, first year at Utah after 2 at New Mexico, where he was the first Lobo quarterback ever named All Mountain West first team. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Parker looking for that 1st down, lost it. Texas, they have the football, and they do again.
They punched it out again.
2nd turnover of the 1st quarter for Utah.
This is a carbon copy, except this time it's Rodriguez. Look at him punch the ball out. Joey McGuire told Jenny Taft earlier today he sent a video about punching the ball out to his team earlier today, and now that's back-to-back series. Ben Roberts, 13, punches it out. Jacob Rodriguez punches it out. McGuire told us that Rodriguez is the best he's ever been around in attacking the ball while tackling, and that's evidence right there with another turnover.
So Tech forcing the 2nd turnover of the 1st quarter. 1st down at the 47. Morton, play fake. Morton. He got decked loose, and Tech falls on the football. John Henry Daly, heat in the kitchen. A loss of 16.
I tell you, the pass rush is showing up right here. So on the outside, John Henry Daly, he's already got 5 sacks this year. Look at the motor on this guy. Blocked initially on the outside by Howard Sampson, but then just keeps going and finally gets to Baron Morton. Ball comes loose, and now Tech way behind the chains.
Henry Daly, BYU transfer. He's from Alpine, Utah. 2nd down and 26. Morton with pressure, gets it away, but gets nothing. Williams the catch, but Teo Johnson. Wake up, folks. 10 a.m. kick.
Finish.
Right now, after
Kyle Whittingham, stud. He came into our meeting yesterday. He had just worked out, dripping with sweat, buffed up. 3rd and 28. Tech runs Williams. Conservative play call there. He's brought down after a gain of 12 by Benny.
You know what I appreciate about Kyle?
What's that?
When he comes in, so he's a big Peloton guy. And he knows that I ride the Peloton as well. And he comes in and immediately just stares me down and he's like, I kicked your butt today. I'm like, yes, you did, Coach.
Well, you know, you
Yes,
have to
you
be
did.
courageous to ride a Peloton. That's a very, very tough and beautiful machine. Raiders send it away. Burgess, Glover back deep. And he has it. Bobbles it, but has it at the 15 to 45-yard punt. A full day of college football on Fox continues next as Bill Belichick leads North Carolina against UCF. Then at 7:30 Eastern, Arizona State takes on Baylor, followed by a Big Ten battle between Michigan State and SC. All right here on Fox. How you like SC this year?
I tell you what, they're quietly, I know they're ranked now, but they're quietly having a really good year. And this is a team that resembles more of Lincoln Riley's old Oklahoma teams with the ability to run the football.
First down and 10 to the 14-yard line. Dampier in the pocket, guns it, caught, maybe a first down. Great catch as Merriweather just lays out and brings it in.
Tell you what, Tobias Merriweather, he needed all of his 6'5" frame here. Look at this, he's extended fully and he's able to get his hands under the ball and secure that catch.
That's a first down. Merriweather from West Camas, Washington, Cal transfer.
Play of a completed pass for a first down is under review.
So they'll take a
We bring in our rules analysts. And that's the first incompletion for Dampier. Here's the run. And he'll pick up 2. Wisniewski with the tackle.
Well, they've been able to throw the ball on the outside a couple of times. Now you wonder if they'll go back to that. And then the way that they try to throw the football primarily is a little half roll so that Dampier's not just sitting in the pocket. Remember, he's only 5'11".
Third down and 8 at the 16. Dampier drops it off near side. Snowden looking for some blockers, and he won't get them. They're just jumping on him. Gil Howard, all 6'1", 290. He transferred from Northern Illinois. He's from the Cream City, Milwaukee. A loss of 3.
I'll tell you, Skylar Gil Howard is playing such good football on film and now here today. And they've said even as a transfer coming in this year, he's the alpha of the team. He's the most vocal leader, the most gregarious guy, and he is playing outstanding football.
Orion Phillips punting out of his own end zone. Gentry, the deep man, lets it take a bounce in front of him. And it will go down at around the 46. Texas Tech will have terrific field position to start this drive. Up 7. One out would be a for the Red Raiders. Morton with the pitch. Flag on the play. Jacoby Williams.
He started moving toward the line of scrimmage before the snap.
So that makes it second down and 11. From the 45. Straight ahead, Williams. Oh, big opening. And he'll get the first down. Between the tackles running, Nate Ritchie finally with the tackle.
I'll tell you what, this is a great cutback lane. Check out this hole that the offensive line is able to provide for him. Great down block, good block by the tight end, Miller. Beautiful hole.
That's a gain of 11. First down, Morton looking, in trouble, backs it up, on the move, hits his man on the far side. That's Coy Aiken, and Aiken tippy-toes down the sideline and picks up 14 yards. Aiken has been having a terrific season.
He sure has, and there he acts as an outlet as John Henry Daly couldn't get Baron Morton down.
On first down, sidearm throw, far side, caught, Caleb Douglas.
In this area of the field, you really got to be aware of that screen game on the outside for Texas Tech. And in particular, Jacoby Williams, number 20 out of the backfield. He's an excellent receiver. Gus, we already saw him have that huge completion on the third down on the first series. And you've got to pay attention to him here inside the 30.
Second and 5 at the 25. Morton will throw it. Sideline throw. Intercepted in the end zone. Jackson Benny. Another turnover. Sideline throw. Intercepted in the end zone. Jackson Benny. Another turnover. He takes it away from Coy Aiken. Wow.
This is wild. These defenses are just coming to play. Benny does a great job of getting back to the ball, but again, it's underthrown from Behren Morton. That's 2 picks that he's thrown, both of them underthrown, and Utah takes advantage.
Sophomore.
He's playing both ways as well. We've seen him on offense. Now we've seen him there in the slot as a corner. Man, we got some serious defensive play happening today on both sides.
So first down and 10 at the 20. Let's see if Utah can figure out how to move the ball. Dampier fakes the toss. And he'll gain a yard, not a lot, as Skylar Gill-Howard comes up with the tackle. But look at these D linemen, Joel. Romello Height played at Georgia Tech, USC, and Auburn. Gill-Howard at Northern Illinois. Lee Hunter at UCF and Auburn. David Bailey at Stanford. Got 4-barrel shotgun up there.
That's right. And they play aggressive, and they are very good. You know, the transfer portal is about transformation and opportunity. You can transform your roster, and the players get the opportunity to showcase their talents, and that's certainly what's happening here.
Second down and 9 at the 21. Dampier running it straight ahead. We'll gain a couple. Brendan Jordan there.
Here's a look at our reliable performer, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability you can count on, and certainly Jacob Rodriguez is a guy you can count on. He forced that fumble on the last series. He's in on that last tackle. 2025 this season, the preseason Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, and he is certainly a leader and a captain for this team.
Third down and 7 at the 23. Dampier throwing up the sideline. Is that a catch? Yes, it is. Wonderfully done. Dallin Bentley, the tight end.
Hey, how about the touch on that pass? That looked like a three-pointer, like a Steph Curry. He had to get it up and over Romello Height, who was dropping into coverage. And did Bentley get that full foot in bounds? Boy, that was awfully close. Controls the ball. That foot's got to stay in. Boy, it does look like it was in. What a catch. But even better, the touch on that pass, Gus. That was beautiful.
So they're going to review it.
All right, chance to get my dollar back. Here we go.
No,
come on.
You know, that's a catch.
That's a catch.
Well, I talked to Bear about this yesterday. For an obvious catch, what did he say? He said 3-to-1 odds. So you got to pay $3 to make $1.
All right, I'll put up 3 to your 1.
But I'm not taking the bet.
That's a catch.
Yeah, it's a catch.
So does he control it? Then okay, so there's control, foot down, and then does he control it going through the ground? Yeah, that's a catch.
I like this game.
Archer like that. Remember Jim Jackson used to shoot.
That's
it
right.
high.
7. Here's a handoff. Rodgers. And Rodgers gains 5. Gill-Howard again. So the big matchup coming into this game was the Utah offensive line versus the Texas Tech defensive line.
Well, and so far it's kind of a stalemate because it's really been just a tale of mistakes and turnovers on the outside from the skill position players. These linebackers, each of them, Ben Roberts and Jacob Rodriguez, have played so well, each of them with a forced fumble today.
Second down and 5. Dampier steps into his throw. Down the sideline, incomplete. And this time it's Jackson Benny. He'll play DB, he'll play wide receiver. 3 guys on this team go both ways.
Bryce Pollock in coverage transfer from Mississippi State. Really good length. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds. Crowd thought that he got away with some contact right here. Hand up on the shoulder of Jackson Benny, but then it starts to come off, and I don't think the official ever really saw that contact. And to be honest, I don't know if he's hindering his ability to go make that catch.
Third down and 5 at the 42. Big play here. Here's Dampier over the middle. Caught first down. Utes. Ryan Davis found a soft spot on 35. He gains 10.
I tell you, this is not a big window to throw the football across the middle, and Dampier is almost fading away and turns back and just delivers a dart. Ryan Davis on time and on target. I tell you, right when he turned his head, he released that ball because he trusts his former teammate from New Mexico to be on time, and he was.
Under 8 to go, second quarter. First and 10 to the 49. Dampier splits out of the pocket. Drops it off short. Nothing doing this time. Great pursuit as Landon Barton makes the tackle, and he's dropped immediately. This time it's Terrell Tillman.
This defense is deep and they're aggressive. I've been impressed so far, Gus. I tell you, they are flying around. They are physical. They are attacking the football. They're making life difficult on Utah, but Utah is putting together their best offensive series so far of the day.
Second and 12 at the 49. Play fake. Dampier steps up in the pocket, throws it down the field, incomplete. Little too much on that one, as Tobias Merriweather had a step.
I tell you, aggressive from this Utah offense, and here they have a bit of a double move, and in and then up. And both those Utah Utes kind of in the same area. You never want to see that, but overthrown nonetheless.
Third down and 12 at the 49. Utah 3 of 6 on third down conversions in this game so far. Dampier runs it and will not have enough for the first down, as David Bailey drags him down. A 6-yard gain brings up fourth down, so a decision must be made by Coach Wynn.
I tell you, with the way that the defense is playing, I think he's going to send his kicking unit on the field, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Nice stop there for Texas Tech. Dampier was trying to get, I'm sure he was trying to get within like 4th and 3. They would have thought about it, probably gone for it, but at 4th and 6, they're going to try to punt it away and pin Tech back inside their own 10.
Orion Phillips at the 40. And fair caught on the sideline.
Picked off.
First down and 10. Here's a handoff. Dickey, what, and hold. He'll pick up a first down. Ritchie with the tackle. Let's go downstairs. Wait a minute. Morton getting up slowly.
Tell you, he got absolutely rocked.
Henry Daly crushed him.
Right when he's in there at the handoff point, and again, as a defensive player, if you're responsible for the quarterback in this day and age of RPO run pass option, he goes for the quarterback. Big gain on the run, but Morton just getting flattened in the background, and he'll come out for a play.
5 from Austin, Texas. He was 3 of 5 for 2 yards and an interception last week in mop-up duty against Oregon State.
You got to think this is a run, so I would likely send pressure here.
Cameron Dickey. Stopped by Ritchie. Let's see if Baron Morton comes back in.
I tell you, look at all these guys up near the line of scrimmage. They know it's a run, and now Tech is going to keep Hammond on the field. They're going to go quickly here.
Second and 9. Another handoff. Dickey again. Jonathan Hall with the tackle after a gain of 6. Will Hammond started the 2024 Liberty Bowl against Arkansas. Went 20 of 34 for 280. Now Morton back in. Good sign for the Raiders. Third down and 3 at the 39. Morton. Underneath, caught, and a first down. Great blocking up front is Carter with the reception by this offensive line from Texas Tech.
And I love how he just floats back in the pocket. Look at him by himself a little bit of time. Great job up front by the offensive line. And then good hands by Terrence Carter. Contested catch in traffic, and he's able to secure it for a first down.
4:40 and counting remaining in the first half. 7-0 Texas Tech. First down at the 43. Morton, slant, incomplete. That ball intended for Caleb Douglas. Now let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, guys, it did take a second for Baron Morton there, obviously on the sideline. He put his headband back on, put his helmet on. He told his guys, I'm good to go. He ran back out. It's a good sign as well that Terrence Carter Jr. back in the game. He'd been dealing with a left shoulder injury. Let's see if those two can find a connection here.
2nd and 10 of the 43. Dickey in the game at running back. 2nd and 15 at the 38. Jacoby Williams checks back in at running back. Morton fires it deep. Incomplete. Reggie Virgil, the target. And Morton looks like he's still hurting.
Yeah, he is not right now. So even though he came back in the ball game after that hit earlier this series, he has been wincing in pain. There he tries to throw the ball down the field. Something is going on. You wonder in that midsection area, how accurate can he throw the ball down the field on a long third down?
3rd down and 15 at the 38. Virgil in motion. Morton steps up in the pocket, wants to run it, has a lane, gotta get down, doesn't, and he is knocked down hard by Blake Cotton. A gain of 12 on 3rd and 15.
Well, he had a lane here.
Jack Burgess drew that ball back.
Went out. Over.
Hunter Andrews, Jordan with the tackle after a 2-yard gain.
I tell you, Sheil Wood, the defensive coordinator for these Texas Tech Red Raiders, he came over from Houston, and he has infused an attacking style of defense and a physical play. They're sound, they line up well, and then they fly around and hit.
3rd down and 8 at the 19. Delayed handoff. Rogers. Texas Tech ready for it. Maybe a yard.
And you know what he was telling us yesterday, Sheil Wood, is he feels like this was going to be an academy-style game because of all the different run game that you get from Utah. Quarterback run, option, everything, that it was going to be like facing an academy. Well, he's got history at an academy. He coached at Army. He understands what it is to play one of these games, and his defense is playing accordingly.
3rd down and 6 at the 21. Dampier in trouble. Dampier's got to get it away. Reverses, uses his feline quickness. Dampier sets. Threw it into double coverage and is picked off. Wow, Bryce Pollock. Another turnover. That's 5 in the first half between the two teams. Williams straight ahead. And that should take us to the 2-minute timeout. Jonathan Hall with the tackle.
Is this the final? Yes. Yes, they are.
Lights.
Always.
Bright lights. Brady. So here we go. 2nd down and 8 at the 49. The handoff to Williams. And he'll churn his way forward. Nate Ritchie there to bring him down after a 5-yard gain.
This is a huge moment in this game. Now, inside of 2 minutes here in the second quarter, Texas Tech is going to get the ball to start the second half. So a chance to double up here if they can put together a drive.
And some movement up front.
Activate. Haven't seen them get much pressure yet today.
3rd down and 8 at the 49. Morton. Caught. First down and more by Caleb Douglas. Man, he came out of his break quickly, and he gains 13.
And again, time to throw in the pocket for Morton. Nice ball in rhythm for the first down.
First down at the 39. Tech with 2 timeouts left. Morton heaves it. Oh, another beautiful catch inside the 10 by Caleb Williams. Back shoulder.
I tell you, Caleb Douglas at 6'4" is making life difficult there. He's a flag now for Tech.
First and 20 at the 49. Morton looking underneath. Oh man, that one almost picked off. Nate Ritchie in on the play.
I tell you, the guy that is open on the checkdowns and has the best matchup is Jacoby Williams. He's trying to force this ball over to Terrence Carter, but the linebacker is all over it there. Nate Ritchie, the strong safety. Jacoby Williams is the guy that has to touch the ball here. Watch him on a screen.
Second and 20 at the 49. They fire it out wide. This time it's Aiken. And Aiken dropped for a loss. Once again, Jackson Benny. Johnny on the spot. 1:03 to go, second quarter. Timeout on the field.
What?
That's all. Start the second half.
You know, 8 yards away.
I don't think he's got the leg. Utah should have somebody back under the goalpost. There's a good likelihood that this is short.
Good snap, clean hold. Take that, Joel Klatt.
Wow, what a kick. How about that?
Whoa.
Harrington's long was 47, like you said. They bring him in, and he drills it. What a kick. Stones. Time. You know, I know it hasn't been a long time at the level. He was an assistant for Art Briles. He was an assistant for, Matt Rule at Baylor, and then Dave Aranda before being at Tech. So,
Sideline throw for Dampier.
what I loved about him is that he understood his strength. He was very blunt with us. He said, listen, I know what I'm great at, and I know what I need to be doing, and that is to be the CEO, have the pulse of the team, and he certainly has that. And that's one of the big reasons why going out and getting these 2 coordinators, Mac Leftwich on offense, Sheil Wood on defense, was so important.
Second down and 4, Dampier. Near side, caught for first down. Brian Davis with the tackle. .38 seconds and counting. Dampier again trying to move this football. Short throw out of bounds.
Well, as they're trying to get into field goal range, Dylan Curtis is their kicker. He's a true freshman, had a rough game last week, missed 3 field goals.
Second and 5 at the 42, had one block. Dampier hit as he throws. Nobody home. Flag on the play.
It looked like they were trying to get Tobias Merriweather on a double move, and it looked like he was kind of tackled and held up as he was getting down the field right here. Yeah, that's pretty clear. Dante Balfour.
With some nice yard of Tech. Dampier underneath, caught. This time Davis with some nice yards after the catch for first down. 12-yard pickup.
Well, and the first down, more importantly, so the clock stops until they can set the chains, and now they can get another snap off.
Remember Dylan Curtis, as you mentioned, last week against Wyoming, 1 of 4. Dampier incomplete.
Well, he's a true freshman, Dylan Curtis.
He's got a leg.
He does. He hit a 54-yarder in week 1 against UCLA, held the Utah State record with a 63-yarder in high school. But last week, off the upright, they missed that one. This one was blocked. So some trouble on the special teams last week.
2nd and 10 at the 32. And Dampier sideline trying to get as much as he can. Out of bounds goes Bentley. 4 seconds left.
Well, now you got to kick it here. Yeah, because this would be the last snap with 4 seconds. You're not going to get another one after that. So a nice, efficient drive there from Dampier, wasn't it? Getting the ball down, helped out by that penalty, and now Dylan Curtis.
This time from 46 yards away. He's got a big leg.
It helps prevent dandruff before.
Arm halftime shove.
Gives him a free lease on life. Kicker, you're going
Defense.
Ooh, and he just pushed this one wide right. But there is a flag. He'll hope to get another shot at it. Looks like he will. A 48-yard kick. This one will be from 31 yards away. Should be a chip shot for Dylan Curtis. Got to get his confidence back after a tough one last week. This time, it's pure. Utah's on the board.
B coach. Certainly stepped up because in this low.
He said those 3 points. Now the penalties killed us. We need to do a better job communicating. Piece so proud of. They have to do a better job controlling the line of scrimmage and step up.
All right, Jenny, first down at the 25, and guess who? One of my.
Boy, it just kind of grazed the face mask of the defensive end. So here's Aiken, number 3. And that hand just up in the face of Nate Ritchie, the strong safety.
So that'll back up Texas Tech. First down and long. Morton. 27. Remember, this is the loudest stadium in the Big 12, 18th loudest stadium in the country, according to the USA Today. Conservative call, Dickey, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Wow. Ritchie leading the way. Loss of 1.
Well, now you got to think about not turning it over. What matchup do you like? You can't force the ball if you're Baron Morton. Maybe try to get half of this back on this snap.
Second down and 28. Morton in trouble. Wants to run it. Needs to get down. And does. And he gets leveled. Whoa. Flag on the play. Morton is hurt. Jonathan Hall. And this may be a targeting call.
Here's the tail end of the play. Morton, as a runner, doesn't get defenseless protection. So it would the only way to call a targeting on this is if you deem that Jonathan Hall made forcible contact with the crown of his helmet. Because again, Gus, Morton as a runner doesn't get defense. The head or neck of a defenseless player would be targeted.
I don't think this is targeting, Joel.
Well,
and Joel's described the defenseless player versus.
Third down and 18. Looks like Tech will probably just hand this one off.
Ready to snap it. Going on the clap, they're going to continue to have false starts.
3rd and 23. Hammond just runs it, and he is lucky.
Tripping.
Here's Glover over to the sideline. Wants to run it. Breaks one tackle, and finally is lassoed. And
reach out and Utah sitting here with the football.
Half. They'll start from their own 25. Nakani Rogers in the backfield. Rogers pinballing. And he goes down. Wisniewski with the tackle, a gain of 2.
Well, watch Lee Hunter, number 2. Here's Lee Hunter in the middle. He's allowing no push in the middle of this. They're trying to double team him. He's going nowhere. The running back runs right into his back. That's why Tech has been able to stop the run. Number 2, 330 pounds, transfer from UCF. He's playing a whale of a game in the interior. Gus, it's not always against a stat sheet or the tackles that you make. It's what you do at the line of scrimmage.
They feel Lee Hunter could be a first-round pick. Dampier, that ball deflected as he rolled out of the pocket. And it looks like Ben Roberts got a hand on it.
And remember, this was supposed to be an offensive line that could control the game. Kyle Whittingham's best in his history as the Utah coach, and they are just getting eaten up right now up front. And again, attacking the ball. That's the second time we've seen Ben Roberts get aggressive. That's a PBU. He had a forced fumble earlier.
18 NFL scouts at this game. And, folks, they're looking at these offensive and defensive linemen for Tech and the Utes. Dampier.
Oh!
Is that intercepted again? Yes, it is. Wow, Dante Balfour. Balfour transferred from...
Why are they going to... Let's just let us expedite.
There you go.
We could just throw it down. Just throw the call down.
That's it. Energy in this game, though, has been unreal. 1,236, 91st consecutive sellout here at Rice-Eccles. First down and 10 of the 21. Pressure, and Hammond gets out of the pocket, avoids a loss, and picks up 4. Jonathan Hall with the tackle. Landon Barton with pressure.
Well, the young quarterback coming in here to replace Baron Morton, who was injured on that last series, and they bring pressure right away. It's a good call by Morgan Scally, and you know he's going to be more aggressive now with the young quarterback in. Hammond, redshirt freshman, did start the bowl game against Arkansas last year when Morton had that shoulder surgery.
Second down and 6 at the 25. Jacoby Williams in the backfield. And they'll give it to him straight ahead. Bouncing, trying to fight, and he'll gain a yard. Trey Reynolds, Nate Ritchie combining.
Well, now where does this offense go? Do you have the confidence in Hammond to throw the ball down the field? Or does it go into that run-pass option, screen game, everything moving laterally type of game? And again, the crowd noise just making it really difficult on this Tech team.
3rd and 5. Empty set. Hammond looks, throws. Oh, what a catch at the 45. Caleb Douglas does it again.
This is a sensational catch, and it takes an insane amount of courage to do what Caleb Douglas does right here, extend himself over the middle and reach out for that ball.
First down at the 44, and they'll run it with Williams. And Williams stopped by Jonathan Hall after a gain of 3.
And Douglas has really been their best offensive weapon. He and Jacoby Williams, the running back, number 20.
2nd and 7. Hammond drops it off in the flats. Terrence Carter. And Carter crosses into Utah territory before being stopped by Jackson Benny after a 3-yard gain. Third down and 4 at midfield. Jacoby Williams in motion. He'll drop it off in the flats to Carter, and Carter lost it. John from the 33. Rashawn Glover deep. Lets it go over his head and down at the 1-yard line.
Done from
They need some room. Rodgers. And again a little bit. Nice spin. And the pile pushed forward. They'll cross the 5 up to around the 7. A 6-yard gain. All right, let's answer. Here we go.
I would say Nick Saban, probably Dabo, and who's the other one? Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly. And Kirk Ferentz isn't on there. I was wrong. Wow.
Do I get my dollar back?
We're betting reviews, brother.
I see.
I'm up 1-0. Near side throw. Incomplete. Ryan Davis, the target. Dante Balfour again. We've been mentioning his name all day.
Yeah, we sure have almost had that interception on the last series. And here, it's a good ball, but the coverage is just so much better. And there's just no threat down the field on this second level for Texas Tech. The linebackers and secondary are able to play so free, and that's because the defensive line is owning the line of scrimmage. They have beaten this Utah offensive line all day long.
3rd down and 4 to 7. Quick strike, far side, and another loss.
They're backed up to their own end zone, but Shieldwood, the defensive coordinator, has put together an incredible plan, and more importantly, these players have played sensational ball on the defensive side.
Orion Phillips deep in his own end zone. Tech with a chance to get great field position, and they will.
#1 scoring offense in the country, the #2 passing offense in the country, and they have been challenging them right in the face of these wide receivers, and the coverage has been excellent down the field. A couple of different times, Baron Morton earlier in this game underthrew his receivers. They wound up as interceptions, and that's how they've been stopping this Tech offense.
But terrific field position for the Red Raiders to start this drive. And on 1st down, they find Reggie Virgil. Virgil fighting for extra yards before finally being knocked down by Nate Ritchie.
Well, and after a nice gain on 1st down, now you've got 2nd and short in an area of the field that Texas Tech loves to try to take a shot. They'll go quick here, try to get somebody matched up.
Gain of 8. Here's a handoff. Williams breaks it back and looks like he has the first.
Even with a backup quarterback, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get one down the field. Again, the tough part of that is that the coverage has been excellent from these corners and defensive backs.
1st down at the 40. Hammond gives it up. Williams. And he scoots through the hole before being taken down by Levani Damuni after 5-yard gain. Second and 5. Williams again. Keeps his legs churning. He gains 3. Damuni once again with the tackle, along with Fano.
How about this run game coming to life? Not with huge plays, but long enough runs to keep them on schedule. Create a 3rd and short. Here they'll go with the bigger back now as Cameron Dickey checks into the game.
Dickey, 5'10", 215, sophomore from Austin. 3rd and 2 at the 32. And it's Hammond running, picks up the first. Oh.
Tackle is moving on the clap. Everyone is. The center can't hear. Again, you can't use an audible thing, whether it's cadence from the sound of his voice or the clap.
3rd and 7 at the 37. Hammond looks backside, finds his target. Dick.
Baron Morton for the rest of this one.
All right, Jenny, where the future is right now for Will Hammond. Jack Burgess punting. Glover lets it go over his head. And the ball will be down around the 5.
Williams is going.
Here, gets through the hole, gains 4.
So Gus, before that punt, they were within range. Remember, Harrington hit that 58-yarder earlier in the game for Texas Tech. They were within, it would have been about a 57-yard field goal. I think Joey McGuire, though, was thinking to himself, listen, the way my defense is playing, there's no way Utah's going to score going 91 yards. So let's pin them back and rely on that defense versus giving them half a field if they miss.
2nd down and 6. Far side, caught Parker, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Wayshawn Parker gains 9.
So Utah's offense has got to adjust here because what their game plan has not been working, and they haven't allowed Dampier to really be involved in the run game. So on 1st down, what'd you see? Quarterback run. They got him going, and then they can get the ball on the perimeter to the tight end on those little play action fakes and letting him half roll and get outside of the pocket.
Remember, he came in here with a lower body injury. 1st and 10 at the 22. Dampier running it.
Tell you what, man, that defensive line, Gus, they're just not getting pushed around. Great job by Romello Height right there. They tried to pull around number 9. Watch him come from his position and impact these pullers. Okay, so here comes the guard, and watch him. He goes, lowers the shoulder, and he just puts him right back into the backfield. It's exactly what you do on the end of the line scrimmage. Doesn't mean you have to make the tackle. You have to impact the play.
They call that force, right?
That's exactly right.
2nd and 8 at the 24. Dampier underneath. And this reception made by J.J. Buchanan. They'll gain another 4. So right now the Utah offense dinking and just dropping it off. 3rd down, 4 at the 28. Dampier steps up, throws. Oh, he had a wide open receiver. Wow. Tobias Merriweather was open.
They're going to lose him in coverage right here. So he gets knocked into his own guy, and then all of a sudden he's wide open. But Dampier throws it over his outside shoulder. He was looking that more up the field and just out of his reach, and Utah cannot connect.
Orion Phillips again. He's had a busy day. Tristan Gentry back deep. 6th punt coming up for Utah. Gentry. Oh, he is level as soon as he touches the football. Luca Caldarella.
Coordinator for Utah, historically very aggressive and loves to bring pressure, in particular against young quarterbacks, and I'm sure he's itching to bring some pressure here in the next few downs.
2nd and 8 at the 16-yard line. Will Hammond underneath. Oh! Whoa! Folks, there's been some serious wood getting laid in this game. Reggie Virgil caught it by Lander Barton.
Woo, that takes some courage to catch that ball and hold on. Wow. Woo.
3rd down and 3 at the 21. Hammond off his back foot. Oh, beautiful throw and catch. Reggie Virgil got that foot down, and it's a 1st down. Red Raiders gain of 19.
Yeah, this is a beautiful route. From the outside, he presses in, and then he goes back to the corner. The ball is thrown on time, but he reaches back just over that inside shoulder. Look at the strong hands. Nate Ritchie trying to go up and punch it out.
1st down at the 40. Dickey. Nothing. And that'll take us most likely to the end of the 3rd quarter. John Henry Daly.
Lubbock.
West Texas, baby.
Oh, my goodness, I love it.
That's so good.
2nd and 10 at the 40. Hammond in for Baron Morton. Hammond lets it go down the sideline. Woo! Incomplete. He put that one on the money for Caleb Douglas. Just couldn't hold on. But a good throw. Hammond 7 for 8. His first incompletion.
And that's about as good as you can throw it. Boy, if it hits your hands as a wide receiver, we've seen Caleb Douglas make tougher catches than that today. He's going to want that one back for sure.
Third down and 10. Will Hammond, the freshman from Austin. Hammond uncorks again, same area, and it is caught around the 25.
Those last two deep balls, you can't throw any better. And if at first you don't succeed, then try again. Right back to Douglas.
Throw.
It was perfect, Gus. Outside shoulder over the arm of Jackson Binney. Douglas, all he's got to do is put his hands out, and it's in the basket.
33-yard gain. Will Hammond coming in, making some plays. First and 10 of the 27. Dickey outside, high stepping, and goes out of bounds inside the 20. About a 7, maybe 8-yard gain. Nate Ritchie ushering him out of bounds.
Starting to wonder how much gas in the tank this Utah defense has left. Coach talked about them getting tired in the second quarter. They're starting to get a little tired on this series.
Second down and 1. Dickey, first down. And more. He'll get to the 11. Ritchie again defensively for Utah.
And here's what's so difficult is you'll notice Tech doesn't substitute, Gus. They keep their 11 on the field, which has the threat of going fast tempo. So it's hard to substitute as a defense, and a lot of these guys have been on the field for the entire series. Slow pass rush, hands on tip, hips, and some tired defensive backs.
Some huffing and puffing now for the Utes on D. First down and 10 at the 12. Hammond guns it sideline. Nice throw out of bounds. And they say incomplete. Reggie
is under further review.
Take a look at. It's the right foot. The right foot actually hits the turf first, don't you think?
I'm going to say that's incomplete.
Oh, man, that.
Down, you know, to me, it's he sticks control. That's the one thing. So if that toe, I'll never go. Well, I used to say I'll never go against you, but.
Oh, man.
Mike, you should go with a winner. Second and 10 at the 12-yard line. Will Howard putting in yeoman's work. Excuse me, Hammond. Here he runs the ball and gets to the 5. Cash Dillon with the tackle.
Well, now you got to watch out for those pick and rub routes. Joy McGuire knows that Utah loves man coverage. It's what they hang their hat on. Morgan Scalley lives and dies by man coverage. So you got 3 receivers down here to the bottom. Watch out for them to pick for each other and try to get one of these guys wide open down here below.
Third down and 5 at the 7. Dickey in the backfield. Hammond in the corner, wide open. Incomplete. Terrence Carter was open, but that ball thrown behind him. And good again. Harrington comes in to attempt a 25-yarder. Good already from 58. And good again.
I do. Last week, you got me dying. We had
for Utah today. He needs to make something happen. 13-3. This Texas Tech defense has been electric. Utah with only 171 yards in total offense. Dampier steps up. Nice throw and catch. Bentley still moving. And he'll go down deep inside Texas Tech territory. Devin, the dude, making a play. Gain of 52.
tell you, the hands from Dallin Bentley flashing him. Look at that one's down by his backside knee, and he's able to go back down, get it, and then turn upfield and show off some wheels.
First down at the 31. And they'll hand it off straight ahead. Wayshawn Parker. Gain of 3.
Well, just from a confidence standpoint, after a play like that to get this series started, now you've got to go kitchen sink. What do I mean by that? Well, if I'm the play caller right now, Jason Beck, my best stuff has got to come out. Trick plays, misdirection plays, because we've got to put this ball into the end zone to gain some confidence on offense.
2nd and 7 at the 28. Play fake, Dampier out wide, and it's caught by Ryan Davis, who's chopped down quickly by Bryce Pollock. But it's a 5-yard gain.
Their best series in the first half was the last series when they got some of those completions on the outside. That's where they've actually had some room to go.
And a handoff, Parker. First down, Utah.
Tech not making it easy, but they're able to move the chains there, get a fresh set of downs. And again, Gus, watch out for something in the next few snaps. Misdirection, reverse, double pass, something along those lines.
1st and 10 at the 21. Dampier looking, throws it up, and out of bounds. Bentley again, the tight end, the target.
That's really good coverage from Cole Wisniewski. The transfer from North Dakota State comes in as a senior. He had 194 tackles as an FCS first-team All-American in his career at North Dakota State. Look, he just never bit on that first pump, and he's right there in coverage.
2nd and 10 at the 21. Dampier underneath, incomplete, no flag. Yes, that should be interference. Wisniewski may have gotten there a little early.
Tight ends coming across the middle. Does he make contact?
Pass interference, number 5. Defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
Wisniewski doesn't believe so, but he did make contact through the back of the wide receiver, preventing him from making an opportunity to make that catch.
Wisniewski, a big dude, 6'4", 220. First down and 10 at the 14.
But he can run for as big as he is.
Dampier guns it underneath, caught, close to a first down. Ryan Davis again. Utah cobbling together a drive. Gain of 9. They've got to pay it off. They'll go quickly. 2nd and 1 at the 5. Handoff, Parker, touchdown, Utah. 3-point ball game, folks.
Doubleheader.
Situation 6-1 in one-score games.
Curtis sends it off. And this one goes into the end zone for a
clock. East Coast time. That's going to be difficult for the Spartans.
First down to 10 of the 25 now. For Will Hammond, in for Baron Morton, who went out with an injury. Hammond has done well. Quarterback run here. And he's got to get down. Whoa, what a move. Hurdling. Breaks it back and then goes.
50.
First down and 10 at the 43. Hammond starting to relax and find himself. Coming off the bench. Handoff, Williams. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half-yard gain.
Well, I'll tell you, that last series, I'll tell you what it proved to me, is that Hammond is just as much a gunslinger as Baron Morton, and Mac Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, will continue to be aggressive on the outside. In that last series, it was to Caleb Douglas. Had a couple of beautiful deep ball throws down the field. Douglas is on the far side.
Hammond threw for 8,700 yards and 84 touchdowns in his prep career. Second down and 10 at the 43. Had offers from Oregon, Penn State, among others. Hammond on the move. Oh, he whipped it in there. Down inside the 25 is Corey Aiken. Willie the whip. What a throw. Gain of 19.
And just over the outstretched arm of number 23, Jackson Binney. Binney is trying to tip that ball, but too much velocity from Hammond. And he's able to get it in there to Coy Aiken. Aiken is Baron Morton's best friend, trusted receiver on the outside, but making a huge play for the backup, Will Hammond.
Got a player down. Looks like a Ute back after this. For a dramatic finish. 8:45 to go in the fourth. 13-10 Tech. And this young man, Will Hammond, a freshman from Austin, off the bench for their starter, Baron Morton. And he has found himself. First down at the 24. And wide open. Touchdown! Terrence Carter Jr. Will Hammond led the state of Texas as a senior with 3,009. Dampier sprints out on the move, complete. Ryan Davis turns it up, gains 4.
You know, this is not an offense that's built to go fast or throw the ball down the field, but when they did go fast at the end of the first half, they were able to get themselves down the field, piece it together, and get a field goal. I think that's the same tempo they've got to have now.
2nd and 6 at the 29. Rogers, not a lot. This time it's John Curry, sophomore from Lubbock.
And they're just flying around from everywhere. Curry comes in from his star position, kind of a strong safety style position here for Sheil Wood, the defensive coordinator. And Curry from Lubbock, Gus, like you said, you know he loves being a Red Raider.
3rd and 6. Incomplete. Man, Utah's got to punt it away. Looks like Gil Howard got up and fields it at the 30.
McGuire that can this offense is doing. And listen, Utah's a terrific defense. I think this Utah defense is easily one of the 10-12 best defenses in all of college football. So yeah, you know, have they lit it up on offense? No, but now with Tech, it's not just offense. You don't have to score 35 points because you got a defense, Gus, that's playing physical, and they are so good.
2nd and 3 at the 39. Quarterback run again. First down. Will Hammond. Gain of 8.
And this is what we're used to seeing from Utah, right? Up a couple of scores late in the game. The opposition knows that you want to run the football. You have to run the football. Keep this clock moving, shorten the game. And then they're still able to do it. Big credit up front to these offensive linemen. Few of them transfers themselves. Sampson, left tackle. Wilson, the center. Carter, the right guard. Ponton, the right tackle. They've been really good up front.
First down to the 47. Both teams with all 3 timeouts left. Tech in no rush now. Play fake. Hammond guns it underneath. Another completion. First down. Texas Tech. Reggie Virgil. A gain of 14. This kid, something else, Joel.
Yeah, how accurate was that off of the run pass option fake? So he has the play fake in the backfield. He's reading the linebackers. Look at that. Boom. Right on the frame. Gus, you hear me say every single week, in breaking routes, you've got to throw that ball where on the frame of the wide receiver, and that one was framed up perfectly.
First down at the 39-yard line. 5:28 and counting. Will Hammond. Play fake. And he'll run it again. I'm just nervous about these Texas Tech quarterbacks not getting down, Joel.
Well, you can't get down on there because that's a power. But, man, I hear you.
Wow.
And when your backup's in the game and your starter has already been ruled out, you know, certainly it's cause to hold your breath a little bit over there if you're Joey McGuire, the head coach, and as he called it, CEO over there.
2nd down and 5 at the 34.
You think that coach is saying, hey, do we really want to get him hitting him?
That's what I was thinking. Joey McGuire, more than anything, wants to win this game. Hammond. Hands it off, Dickey. And he runs into a pile, no gain.
And Kyle Whittingham understanding that down 2 possessions, he's fighting the clock here, so he's going to take a timeout here, his first of the half. With a chance
for Texas Tech. Aiken in motion. Hammond. Another first down completion. Terrence Carter Jr. again.
And again, that ball is thrown on the money. He has not missed today. Maybe the one to Carter in the end zone that went on the wrong shoulder. Again, inside breaking route. Where's the ball? On the frame. Maybe a touch behind him, but Carter is able to make the adjustment, get back there, and get that catch in front of Teo Johnson.
Hammond is 11 of 14, 133 yards passing and a touchdown. He's rushed 6 times for 54 yards. If they win this game, game ball is coming for Hammond. Dickey keeps going. Outside. Sideline. Touchdown. Texas Tech. Cameron Dickey. 17 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown against Oregon. First down, Dampier. Nobody home. Utah came into this game 3.5-point favorites. Our man Dave Portnoy had on a Utah shirt, but he picked Texas Tech. I saw that. He took the points.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
2nd and 10 to the 25. And Bentley.
I'll tell you, man, this is
good football.
It's a good football team, and these two teams, I still think Utah is a very good football team. They're going to be tough to beat in the Big 12. In a lot of ways, we've seen Iowa State. I think these are the 2 best teams in the Big 12, all due respect to Matt Campbell's Iowa State team. But this is a clear and resounding message to the rest of the Big 12 conference.
3rd down and 8. Dampier in trouble, and he's sacked. David Bailey gets to him. Bailey, Hunter, Gil Howard, Romello Hype. Folks, maybe one of the best front 4s in all of college football.
And people just don't expect it because of the decal on the side of the helmet. But they've got top 3 resources at Texas Tech. This is, I think, very close to a top 10 team, if not absolutely a top 10 team.
4th down and 23. Dampier just lets it fly and intercepted on the far side. Wow. Dominant effort.
Husband get that game away, and yet they're locked in.
Will Hammond, what a corner, runs out of bounds, but you can't say only.
Give you one guess.
Off touchdown. Brett Bielema building. Great program in Champaign. Hammond, they throw it up top again. Now they're showing off. Touchdown, Reggie Virgil. Wow.
Gus, I'm going to give you one guess.
Whip, Will Hammond.
Make this investment to just go have a 10-win season. No. If we don't win the Big 12, I'm going to feel like a failure. That's what their GM said. That's what Joey McGuire has alluded to. They invested in this program to be great. Not to be flashy, but to be great.
New quarterback in for Utah, Bird Ficklin. Had a big game against Cal Poly 2 weeks ago, completing all 4 of his passes for 53 yards and a rushing touchdown.
This is what their GM Blanchard has said. You look around, and he said, we have top 3 resources in the country. There is no reason for failure. If we don't get to the Big 12 championship game, I'm going to feel like I've failed.
Here's Ficklin running, and he'll pick up a first down. So this is what the standings will look like in the Big 12 Conference.
Iowa with State and Texas Tech up there. Obviously, there's a lot of good teams. By the way, TCU is closing out a win currently over SMU. They were down and came back. That game is now final, so TCU is right up there. They're a really good team.
Rogers.
But this feels like a statement.
Yes.
Coming in this building.
Absolutely.
And handling this Utah team.
Against a great offensive line and a rugged defense.
Yeah. And they handled both of those. For the most part.
With the backup quarterback in the game in the second half. And Rogers.
That'll probably do it here. I don't think Utah is going to snap it again. Maybe they will. That looks like they'll snap it one more time.
Final play of the game. Rogers running straight ahead, and that should do it. How about this, folks? Texas Tech not only comes into Salt Lake and wins, they kind of thumped them 34-10. The final from Rice-Eccles Stadium. Joy McGuire, Coach Witt will embrace. First win against a ranked, first win in ranked matchup since 2008 when they beat number 2 Texas and Oklahoma State. And our Jenny is down on the field with Coach McGuire.
Coach, congratulations, first of all. Texas Tech, a defensive team today. What statement overall was made from your crew?
We are a defensive team. These guys take a lot of pride in what they do. Coach Wood and his staff on that side of the ball is doing a great job. And, you know, before we talked about taking the ball away, and if we get 3 takeaways, we win the game. We got 4 today, and we needed all 4 of them. We needed all 4 of them.
You just said it, best coach in the nation. I know expectations for this team are very high, and you lose your starting quarterback, but Will Hammond comes in, 2 touchdowns, he gets it done. How impressed were you?
Yeah, really impressed. And, you know, Will had to do it last year at TCU, and we gave up a late lead, and then, you know, he played in the bowl game. But the one thing that we say all the time is the standard's a standard. If you're going to wear the double T and you're going to step on this football field, you play at Red Raider speed.
What a standard today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, Jenny, the final score here in Salt Lake City. Texas Tech 34, Utah 10. Coming up next on Fox after this break, North Carolina takes on UCF. For Mikey Rollbooks, the All-America girl, Joel Klatt, I'm Gus Johnson.